Happy 40th birthday, Donald Glover. This would be a very good video to share with Donald Glover if you know him personally. Make this video to celebrate Donald Glover because he has done so much in the 40 years that he's been alive. You know, from being right on 30 Rock to star of Community to being a writer and actor in his own series on FX Atlanta. But I also want to celebrate Donald Glover's 40th birthday by telling you about how happy I want to let you know that I'm very happy for Donald Glover to want to reprise not one, not two, but three iconic earlier roles of his in 2023, the year after he finished making Atlanta, because he reprised Aaron Davis, his role from Spider-Man Homecoming in Across the Spider-Verse. He reprised his earlier Adventure Time with Finn and Jake role, Marshall Lee, in the Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake sequel series. And last but not least, Donald Glover and Stephen Glover are rewriting. Donald Glover and Stephen Glover have replaced Justin Simien as the writers Lucasfilm hired to create the Star Wars movie Lando. It's a sequel to Solo, a Star Wars story that the honest trailer for Solo totally saw coming 5 years ago.
Lando, the Star Wars story we'd all rather see, except for that part where he's clearly having sex with his droid.
Donald Glover had so much fun playing Lando Calrissian the first time around. He's really looking forward to not just playing Lando Calrissian again in another movie that was initially intended to be another Disney Plus series, but also to be the writer of his own story, to have control over his character's own destiny like that. And as long as Stephen Glover and Donald Glover remember what we liked about Lando Calrissian in The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Solo Star Wars story, I am really looking forward to whatever they have planned for us, and I'm also really happy for the Lando Disney Plus series to get 2 upgrades, to be upgraded from a Disney Plus series into another theatrical film like Rogue One: A Star Wars Story and Solo: Star Wars Story were before it, and for the writer of the Lando sequel to Solo to be written by the actor who played Lando before and his brother Steven. I think what Donald Glover liked the most about playing Aaron Davis in Across the Spider-Verse was the fact that one of his Atlanta co-stars, Brian Tyree Henry, already voiced one of the main Spider-Verse characters, Miles Morales' dad, Jefferson Davis. So even though Mahershala Ali was already voicing this Spider-Verse's animated version of Aaron Davis, it was very funny to see the crossover between animated and live-action variants of that character by showing Donald Glover reprising his live-action Aaron Davis from Spider-Man Homecoming in Across the Spider-Verse. It was a much better, less wasted cameo than for a Spider-Man villain than when Michael Keaton reprised Adrian Toomes the Vulture in 2 post-credit scenes of Morbius. But, you know, I'm actually most proud of Donald Glover for choosing to come back to Cartoon Network to continue playing Marshall Lee in a larger capacity than he originally did in Adventure Time with Finn and Jake. I mean, you see, because Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake, that was Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake was, it's a collection of 5 episodes spread out through the original Adventure Time with Finn and Jake series, and Donald Glover only had to play Marshall Lee in 2 of those 5 episodes, so I was actually worried that he wouldn't come back for the Fionna and Cake sequel series, especially since, especially after he started making his FX series Atlanta, and he also starred in the Disney's Marvel and Star Wars movies, Spider-Man: Homecoming and Solo, on the tail end of the original Adventure Time series in 2017 and 2018. But that's why it's a very fun and pleasant surprise for me, Adam Cal, and Adventure Time showrunner Adam Muto to get Donald Glover back to continue playing Marshall Lee longer term in the Fionna and Cake series. Adam Muto knew that Donald Glover would be the busiest out of all the previous voice actors who played Fionna and Cake characters in Adventure Time with Finn and Jake. And yet, he still made time to play Marshall Lee in Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake. And I couldn't be happier that he's back to continue playing Marshall Lee in Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake and not recast him with someone else less famous who can do the same voice, because a lot of Olivia Olson's and Donald Glover's musical talent and their singing talent goes into their voice performances of Marceline and Marshall Lee. It is also why I wish Olivia Olson would try out for bigger and better parts in live action films and television than Love Actually and Teller's Camp. I'd love for Olivia Olson to get a bigger piece of the name recognition that Donald Glover already has outside of voice acting in Adventure Time with Finn and Jake and live acting in Community.
Impressive. I dismantled that valve and I put out that free cake because I wanted to see what you could do. You got a gift, kid. You know that, right?
A gift for Sinks. Big deal.
Being so young, I don't know if I fully felt the magnitude of what a huge movie I was a part of. After I finished shooting the movie, I came back home and tried to do the acting thing, but my heart wasn't in it. So I quit.
Are you nervous?
Yeah. I'm ready for everyone to see Olivia Olson and hear me sing. I want to be an artist. I want to win this thing.
When the writers and actors strike ends, I'd really love for Olivia Olson to try out for bigger and better parts in live action while not giving up on cartoon acting altogether. And since Marceline wasn't a huge part-time role for Olivia Olson to have in Adventure Time with Finn and Jake, then I know Donald Glover can also voice Marshall Lee as a long-term but part-time role in Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake. But yeah, like many fans of Marceline and Marshall Lee, I would have been very upset if Donald Glover didn't make time to continue playing Marshall Lee in Fionna and Cake, and that's why Adam Muto and I are both very happy and proud of Donald Glover. He was just game to do it, and he just plays whatever parts he is interested in doing at the moment, which is why I'm sure Donald Glover had loads of fun returning to his iconic roles of Aaron Davis from Spider-Man, Marshall Lee from Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake, and Lando Calrissian from Solo: A Star Wars Story after 5 years away from them. I know it also must have helped plenty that Donald Glover had already finished making all 4 seasons of his Atlanta series before he was asked if he wanted to continue playing Marshall Lee in Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake. Again, I was 50% sure that Donald Glover wouldn't have time to continue playing Marshall Lee in a longer term capacity than he originally did in Adventure Time with Finn and Jake, which is why I'm extremely happy that the other 50% of me was proven to be right when he did come back to continue playing Marshall Lee in Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake. And yeah, so Donald Glover returning to play Aaron Davis and Marshall Lee in 2023, as well as whatever he and his brother Stephen Glover may have in store for us when they write their Lando movie, which I'm sure we all must be very thankful isn't being stretched out into another potentially mediocre or lazy Disney Plus series like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Whatever Donald Glover and Stephen Glover have in store for us for their Lando movie in 2024 or 2025 is why I knew I would be very happy to wish Donald Glover a happy 40th birthday. And it definitely is a special year for Donald Glover. because even during the strike, it's worth celebrating his return to playing Aaron Davis, Marshall Lee, and Lando Calrissian again after half a decade. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching, and thank you 2 and thank you 3 for wishing Donald Glover a happy 40th birthday, especially if you already know him in real life and you're celebrating his 40th birthday with him today. Like and subscribe!
What was your favorite film when you were younger? Probably the Star Wars movies.
Everything you've heard about me is true.